Let it play. Oh, it ends? I didn't know it ended. I'm usually talking over after the first.
You've complained enough about it that you should know what it sounds like.
I am usually so bored by the first 3 seconds of it, I can't even breathe. So I didn't know that was a thing.
Are you going overboard with the complaining about the music because of the comment in the mailbag?
I'm going underboard. That's why I let it play out, because I'm trying to be respectful to somebody I don't respect. Nope, I'm trying to be a kind person.
Listen, if you like it or you love it, either way, that's the theme music. It's not changing unless someone gets us a better one, then it will. Welcome to Monday's episode.
My brother-in-law was supposed to do that.
Yeah, what happened there?
Freaking lazy. That's what happened.
What a bum.
I don't even know if he listens. I'm having a kid.
Not.
You can't make a freaking song. Oh, my God.
To be fair, what are you doing that's causing you to work extra with this kid?
You've met my wife.
Okay.
What am I doing extra? Okay. Do we want to get into this?
Oh, you tell me.
I'll burn bridges.
It's not my wife. Listen, you know I love a pregnant Hannah. Don't get me started. This is Monday's episode. This is a Sports Card podcast. Welcome to Sports Cards Nonsense.
Don't
Michael
tell them.
Giuseppe
Don't
is
you
over
tell
there.
them what it is. They're going to decide what.
Is it a Sports Card Nonsense podcast? Who knows?
I knew I didn't want to talk a lot today, so I didn't speak to Jesse almost at all.
Oh, good.
Coming in, because I tried to save the little I want to say for this.
Oh, I thought I was just being lucky. See what I did there? I zinged you. How does that feel? It doesn't feel good, does it?
Play the music.
Restart. Starting over. Who knows what this episode's going to be other than a national review, but we have a number of other
national
little topics to throw in there as we go. And,
I put a fun thing together.
Oh, you did not. You put a thing together?
It's very small, but a little thing.
Do I get to be involved at all, or is this just you? I'm fine either way. I'm just curious. I need to set my expectations.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. It's
just you. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, you can talk. Don't get me wrong. I'd prefer you not to speak, but if you find the need, you're like, oh, I have to say something.
I'm going to do what you never do for me is when I'm talking about a subject, I'll actually listen and then try and ask questions to engage.
Okay.
That'll be good for the audience. Unlike when I say something, it's a,
It's much like that. All right, we are going to talk about the National to start.
Okay.
I stand by what I said last show, by the way. I took some crap for this a little bit and mostly in the Facebook group and Instagram. I don't really pay attention to many other places, but I do pay attention to our socials at least. Mm-hmm. I made the statement, and I didn't know it was going to be clipped up, but I'm fine that it was. Got put on our YouTube about like time to buy again.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, I kind of stand by that. I know everybody's...
Wait, people made negative comments about it? I saw positive
just
stuff.
A lot of pushback was like, easy to say that now. I mean, the economy still... I just think it's interesting the amount of people in the card world who talk about the economy. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's that many smart people in the world. That's a general statement, period.
Sure.
I think most people generally are dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not all that intelligent in many areas.
Okay.
The economy being one of them. I don't know what inflation is. Honestly, I have no idea what inflation actually means.
It's what they do to balloons.
But that's what I mean. Like, how many people? I know you worked in the financial world. You have an understanding much higher than mine. Uh-huh. Some people do, like you.
Okay.
The vast majority of people are like me. We know that things are a little bit slow in the world. Mm-hmm. Things are a little bit tight with money for most people right now. Gas is expensive, and the cost of living has gone up. That is about the depth of my economic knowledge. I know properties have slowed down because we've been sitting on a few and rentals have been slow.
Okay.
That is the extent of my my economic knowledge. I have no idea.
You are probably right in the middle ground of most people.
I agree.
Yeah.
The majority of card people, for some reason, think that they are much smarter than this. To be clear, we are not. We don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what upcoming elections are going to do to affect these things. No clue. Mm-hmm. I simply look at the card market now and I say, things are a lot cheaper for players that I really like than they used to be. And so I'm probably going to buy some stuff at the National. Yeah. I bought a card with you when we were in Seattle, that Ken Griffey Jr. card. 1998 Bowman Chrome Refractor, PSA 10.
Got a good deal.
Yeah, paid about $80 less than the average of the last three. I was excited, about 10% off. I was pumped. I like that card. I think I paid about $700 out the door. If that card goes a little less than that, if that card goes down to $500 over the next calendar year because somebody's inflating something or whatever, I really don't care. I don't. Yeah. I wanted the card. It doesn't come up that often. I want to hold on to it for a long time. That's kind of things have gone horribly wrong if I have to sell a card like that, or I'm going to take that card and upgrade to a different Griffey. But that is a true definition to me of a PC card. At no point in time am I buying that thinking, I want to flip this. I just want to buy it.
Yeah.
I want to buy it at a good deal. 2 years ago, if it was $1,500, I would have thought,
Sure.
But I'm looking at it now, and I was like, I think it's a good deal. That is my mindset going into the National.
Inflation is a collectible benefit. It's a benefit to all collectible, especially art pieces, which many people consider cards and any other things in the hobby. So in this case, if you're viewing inflation as a bad thing, I think that take is off.
Oh, however, the market has been way, way down in the last 2 years. The numbers don't lie about that in the card world.
But that doesn't mean that
you think that is totally separate from the
because
inflation issue and the economic issues.
as inflation goes up, it just basically means that your dollar can buy less things, but it doesn't mean that the value of something has then gone down. It means that in a lot of cases, like if now it used to cost me $100 to buy this card, and now it costs me $125 to buy this card, it doesn't typically mean that the value of it has changed. It just means that in this situation, inflation has changed. The fact that the card price is actually down is not an indication of necessarily inflation. It just means that people have less money to spend on what they consider a hobby or extras like the card market. So overall, not a indictment of inflation on the card market, in my opinion. And a number of others.
But you hear that just like I do too.
Well, I hear the comments about the overall market. And I think that's the issue is like because of inflation, card or gas prices are high. It costs more to rent or whatever the case may be. Your daily living expenses are higher, and therefore you don't have the same money to go out and buy that box at Walmart or go get into a break. Okay. So card prices would inevitably go down because of it.
How does this relate to the National?
So, in my take
that was rhetorical. I was going to leave.
No. You have
I'm
something.
just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, I do, but I want to get your
Well, in my thinking is that's one of the reasons why I had that clip posted was because I do think the National is going to be a good buying opportunity because people are needing extra capital. To be fair, too, I think at the end of last year or early this year, we talked about what the economy was doing and how it was going to affect cards, and everyone gave me a hard time because I was saying I didn't think there was going to be a recession, and everyone was saying, no, there's going to be one. You're wrong. And here we are. Now even Janet Yellen, like Fed chair saying...
What did you just say?
It's a person. You wouldn't understand.
I like you just slipped in the name Janet Yeller somewhere.
Yellen, but
yeah. No.
Now you get it. You remember now.
The Fed chair, sure. Yep.
Anyways,
what's the name of this podcast?
She even is saying that she doesn't believe that there's going to be a recession at this point. So many takes to your original point. People don't know. Even people who are well versed and studied in this exact subject, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But at this point, I think we are going into the National at a time where things are going to be, if you have the extra capital, there are good buying opportunities.
And there's my point, right? So this is advice to people in a certain set of circumstances. If that Griffey card tomorrow is worth $400, it doesn't change a thing about my day. I wanted the card. I feel like long-term Griffey 90s inserts and refractors are going to do very, very well because I also believe firmly in ebbs and flows. Like we've seen downtimes, uptimes. 2020, 2021 was a total fantasy, fallacy, whatever. Mm-hmm. We knew it wasn't going to stay. I also don't think things are going to stay here where we've seen the last, 12, 15 months, whatever. Now, with some stuff I do. Like, I don't know that we'll ever see a major spike on crazy high-populated base stuff, which I'm okay with. But on things like that Griffey card, I think because of the huge crash with some of the stuff, just the whole... So whatever the reverse of that stupid saying is, rising tide lifts all ships. Mm-hmm. Well, when the ocean takes a dump, everybody gets flushed. Is that the opposite, I think?
That is the opposite.
I think a lot of other things overcorrected so strongly and are still doing that now I'm just like, cool. So again, if you are, though, hey, I have a very strict budget, I'm going there with the intent of I can only spend this amount of money, and that's all I have, and I have to, and I'm trying to flip or whatever, that's not what I'm talking about here. What I am talking about is if you are in the circumstance of I am, you have some expendable income, not unlimited. I'm not going there and just going crazy because I don't trust where we are in the market still fully. But there's some cards. Like I was looking, just to give you an example, I was looking at Brady stuff on the card ladder player index. The amount of 2,000 Tom Brady rookie cards that are literally down 50% or more, it's incredible.
50%?
Yeah, so like, for example, his 2000 SPX, awesome card. Base card, numbered to 1350. It's the Red Pats practice jersey. Great. I've always loved this card.
Okay.
A 9.5 is now going between 5,000 and 6,000. For a while, it was 10 to 15,000. If somebody has that card on their table for $5,000, I'm buying it. Now you may say, "Oh yeah, but it could be 4 next year."
Yeah.
Very well could be. My thought is in 5 to 10 years, when I'm getting ready to leave this planet, if I make it that long.
Where are you going?
Little Theo, little Teddy boy is going to get this card, and I think it's going to be worth significantly more than that. And take the investment, take the money, all that stuff. That's a card I just want. I like that card.
Yeah.
But it is Brady's the first one I gravitated to just because of that. I really do think though we're at a time where a lot of this stuff, if you can be patient with it, it's like, oh, now might be the time to buy. The Flair Showcase Brady's another one that popped out to me. Same thing, base card. To me, his best looking card of his entire rookie year. I think it's awesome. It's a pro uniform card. It's the hologram. If you pull it up on the screen, you would love
I'm
it.
trying to see.
2000 Flair Showcase. He's throwing the ball. It's got the picture of his eyes, like his face behind it. A BGS 9 is doing about $2,500. At the Fenway Card Show, which was May of 22, is that right?
Was that just last year? Yeah, it was. That was last year.
Yeah, almost
That's
a
just
year and a half.
crazy. Yeah.
I traded about $5,000 for an 8.5 of that same card. Yeah, I think that's the best looking Brady rookie of all time. My favorite.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even remember seeing this Brady rookie.
Yeah, so that's the card I made the big trade for at the show. We had Johnny, that kid with the camera, walking around with us. That card was going for about $5,000 to $6,000 then, because I traded the big Bill Russell and some other big cards in cash.
Oh, okay.
Maybe closer to
what was the
5.
grade on it?
8.5.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That 8.5 though right now is worth like, I don't know, $2,000 maybe.
They're trying to sell it for $4,200 on
that's
eBay, but
that's just one guy. Because I mean, like a 9, the last couple 9s I can see on here have sold under 3.
Okay.
I look at those. The other one I was really trying to find was the Flair, the EX rookie, which is by far my favorite. Well, second favorite after that one, but this one's untouchable in those grades.
While you're looking that up, I do want to clarify one statement. I said Janet Yellen was the Fed chair. She's actually the United States Secretary of Treasury.
You are so stupid. It's embarrassing.
But I will say that.
Do you agree it's embarrassing?
Sam Powell, who is the Fed chair, is only.
Is he related to Colin Powell? I remember Colin.
I'm sorry, not Sam. Jerome Powell, excuse me, is barely outselling Janet. They have cards, by the way. And there's
how much
bits
of this
money.
is true?
There's little bits of money. It's the 2020 Decision Money card.
I'd like to think you're literally just lying about this stuff.
You can go out and go to eBay right now. You can see they just literally sold in the last week.
The SP Authentic, another just great Brady rookie. Very similar to the EX. Numbered to 1250. A 9.5 is doing 15,000 or less recently. I traded for a 9 3 years ago, right at the height of it, but I traded a bunch of Zion, so I've come out really well in that. I traded about $20,000 worth of stuff at the point because mine was 0.5 from a 9.5. Again, I'm not saying just go out and just buy whatever, but I am saying if there's like an iconic, and I'm only talking to about legends, Griffey, Bird, Bill Russell, Tom Brady, guys like that, I start to look at those and like, you know what? If I'm going to buy it anyways, I don't know that this is the absolute bottom, but I know it's way off the top. And if my goal is to hold it long term, I think the opportunity is there at the National because you're going to see more of these cards in one show than you will see at any one show ever again. There will be more at least opportunities to view and potentially negotiate a deal on these cards. That is, you remember last year, man, we didn't buy anything. I bought the Bill Russell, the big photo, but that was about it.
But that was it. Yeah, I think
because I was terrified. I was like, I know the market's crazy high. Unless I'm just flipping it immediately, I don't want to buy stuff.
I remember that was a sentiment to a number of guys. There's still, I know a lot of people made money at that show. A lot of Pokemon guys, in fact, made a lot of money. But as far as actual sports card guy, that was what we heard from almost everybody, is that everything was
very hesitant,
overpriced, in their opinion.
Some prices had come down and dealers hadn't reflected it. The other thing I think is going to work to the advantage of the buyer is, unlike last year where guys went in, like, yeah, I know this card's down 50%, but I'm not taking that loss. I'll be 30% below, which is still 20% above current value. So just people weren't buying, and people had my mindset. I'm just nervous. I think this year a lot of guys are like, forget it. I've held this stuff for a year, 2, 3 years now. It's way below where it's going to be.
Yep.
I'm never going to get that all-time high price again unless I just hold some of the stuff crazy long term. Let me cash out today. I actually think, and that's why I said what I said, I don't think it's an opportunity for you to buy stuff and have it 5 at 10x like it did in 2020, 2021.
Sure.
Because that legitimately happened. You buy a Gretzky rookie for 3, you hold it for 2 months, you sell it for $8,500.
Yep.
Like some of the deals
2
that were
weeks sell for $8,500.
Some of that stuff was, ridiculous. I don't think that's the opportunity. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying for this is Mike the Collector now speaking. I'm actually excited because I think if I see any of those Griffey, Brady, all those cards I just talked about, and they are at recent comps, my thought is cool. I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to buy it again. I think we're close to the bottom. Maybe at the bottom, although it could go down more.
Yeah.
But close. I'm good. I'm good tying up my money at these prices.
I also do think that we are in a situation where this is a time where guys are wanting to actually make a little bit of money back. You know, like they may have gone ahead
Get
and
liquid
accepted.
again.
Yeah, they've accepted that we're not going back to that period. So they are finally in a position. I don't think last year was that time. I think there was still enough market momentum where guys were holding out hope.
Yeah, because
And
like,
now
well,
they can
maybe.
see,
Sure.
Yeah, writing on the wall is, all right, this is not going back. Let me invest where I can make something with this money and instead of just letting this sit.
I'm not going to buy this now, but that 2000 Bowman Chrome Tom Brady PSA 10 refractor, doing about 220,000. That thing was over $5 for a while.
Why don't you go sell one of the properties? You can go buy that.
I could sell those commercial properties.
Dude. So, okay.
I'm
Overall,
optimistic.
That's the buying take for the National. That you,
And the selling take is, I think a lot of people will have my mindset as a buyer. So if you are a dealer setting up, I think now it's more important than ever to be reasonable with your pricing and get stuff sold. Make deals.
Yep.
You know, I just don't think now is the time to hold out for absolute top dollar on stuff. Show the buyers that, hey, I am willing to be at or even slightly below comps to get deals done.
Yeah.
The value of getting money back in your hands, I just think is important right now, especially if you think like me, where, hey, there are opportunities to buy other pieces I really want. Then great, make the sacrifice. I've almost thought about bringing some of my Zions and Durants out of that. That's just a hold box I have that just sits in my closet.
Oh, finally doing. I mean, there's a thing called opportunity cost, right? Like, what
guess.
is your money
I don't know what that
do?
is,
I mean, what is the money's going to sit there in those cards and do nothing versus what you could actually do with that is, yeah, you're going to sell at a loss, but then that money can actually do something invested in a player that is going to perform well or be just overall a better investment.
Or just bring me happiness. Like I can go out and get a card I really
just
want.
collect the now because you don't.
I like
no
to be
longer
happy.
Want Zion, right? You're not a fan of Zion, but you could be a fan of another Griffey or whatever the case may be. So, all right, so that's I like those takes.